Serbia have officially announced their Euro squad, and they gotta be considered a dark horse.
Is that so? Well, that sounds like the perfect way to kick off my FM24 Euro series. Using the Real Euros database available to download from FM Scout. I've put a link to it in the pinned comment and in the video description. So I've taken charge of the Serbia national team and picked the exact same squad that was recently announced. So we've got Al Hilal duo Aleksandar Mitrovic and Sergej Malinkovic-savic to build a team around. And Juventus duo Filip Kostic, plus of course Dusan Vlahovic. Is there space for him and Mitrovic in the team? Throw in youngsters like Ivan Ilic of Torino and Strahinja Pavlovic of Red Bull Salzburg. And I can see why this team might be dark horses. With no fullbacks or wingbacks in the squad, I'm going to be using the formations and lineups suggested by Pesce Football as well. So we've built a 3-4-2-1 as well as a 3-4-1-2 tactic. The player roles and instructions are my own ideas as we try to get the best out of this squad. The pre-tournament warm-up games didn't go so well. But this is what really matters, our opening clash with Denmark. A chance to lay down a marker, to send a message to the rest of the tournament, and... okay, well at least we didn't lose, I suppose. Our next game against Slovenia was much more like it. Ilic and Kostic combining to set up Mitrovic for an early goal. Mitrovic turned provider for Zivkovic on 10 minutes to double our lead. And early in the second half, Kostic was involved again to set up Malinkovic-savic. An impressive 3-0 win. And 4 points on the board, all but assuring our passage to the next round. We finished with our toughest group game against England. And yes, I know these fixtures are not in the correct order, but that's the game, not me, and not the mod I'm using. Just after the half hour, our opponents took the lead through Lewis Dunk. Yep, and I've no idea what a central defender in a Gareth Southgate team is doing playing that positively either. FM obviously didn't get the memo about Jack Grealish, who scored England's second. We then suffered a further setback as Dusan Tadic went down injured. At least 2 months out with a torn thigh muscle, ending his tournament and possibly ending his international career as well. But we rallied and pulled a goal back as Zivkovic fired in from an incredibly tight angle. Alas, we could not complete the comeback as we lost 2-1. Finishing Group C in second place, 4 points, enough for us to finish second in the group and make it to the next round, where we would face Germany. I decided to go for it up front and start Vlahovic as partner to Mitrovic, and it did the trick as he outpaced the German defence to open the scoring. Mitrovic then doubling the lead 2 minutes later. Rudiger would pull one back for the hosts before half-time, but Mitrovic would power in this header to restore the 2-goal lead, making this stoppage time goal from the hosts too little too late. An emphatic win taking us into the quarterfinals. And oh boy, it's Serbia-Croatia next. Vlahovic was the man to open the scoring yet again. And after a tense game, Malinkovic-savic would seal the win late on, making another late effort from our opponents meaningless. As Serbia march on to the semis to take on Portugal. Zivkovic took on opening scorer duties for this one. A rash challenge by Kostic on Bernardo Silva led to a penalty. Converted by João Moutinho to tie the scores before half-time, and then bad news as Vlahovic went down injured. Pulled calf muscle and just like Tadic, tournament over. Back to the semi-final now, which was full of late drama. After Ilic had given us the lead again, Rafael Leao equalised with 6 minutes to go. But extra time was not needed as Mitrovic powered in another header on 90+4 and dark horses Serbia are in the final to face favourites France. If I'm completely honest, we had ridden our luck somewhat to get this far. And we continued to ride our luck here as France dominated the first half. Luckily for us, Mbappe missed a couple of absolute sitters. The match reached something of a deadlock in the second half. We did not have Vlahovic, unfortunately, but we did have Lukic and Ratkov, who forced Koundé into an own goal. Clearly embarrassed and keen to make amends, Koundé tried to cheat his way to redemption with a disgraceful dive for a penalty. The referee and VAR team were wise to his antics though, and we were within sight of the finish line when Dembele suddenly fired the French level. And finally, after surviving more than one late goal in this tournament, we fell victim to one as Griezmann gave the French a 2-1 stoppage time lead. We had one final chance to get back in it, Zivkovic shooting too close to the keeper. But it was not to be, as France were crowned champions. Looking at the timings of the two French goals, we were completely FM'd. But looking at the match stats, we would have FM'd France had we won. That was a fun jaunt through the Euros with a dark horse team and a different tactical style. Watch here to find out which nation we manage in the next Euros challenge.